Our first interview of the day is part of our Open for Business segment. We're so excited. We have Sara Morrison here from Aspiring Sprouts to talk about her passion for pediatric and family nutrition. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You are a dietitian, you are a nutritionist. Where did your, what were you kind of doing in your career and how did that lead to Aspiring Sprouts?
Well, thank you. Yes, I am a professional dancer turned dietitian. And about 10 years ago, I became a dietitian and started in the clinical world. I worked in the hospital and then out in the community with early intervention, so 0 to 3-year-olds. And back in 2021, I jumped into my own business because I really wanted to kind of focus on whole family nutrition. And in the clinical world, it's kind of focused on one individual and one, not always one ailment, but one person. And I realized after 8 years of doing this, that it's really a whole family approach, which can really lead to generational health, which inspired Aspiring Sprouts.
And I'm glad you said generational health, because that is something that in your email to me caught my attention, because it's something that we don't think about a lot of the times. And then as I'm kind of starting to my own family, you know, I got to thinking about my friends who maybe have a child who has an allergy and how that affects the whole family, you know, and how will I handle that with my own kids. And I'm like, this is perfect. This interview, I am like gleaning from you. I'm so excited to learn more. This idea of generational health, can you kind of talk me through what that actually means?
Yes. So generational health is basically what we pass down from what we've learned from our parents down for generations. And so I'm 42 and I was raised by people who went through the Depression. And they fed their kids very differently than they had different opportunities, different resources than we have now. And yet we still feed our families by how we were fed, typically. Sometimes it's really beneficial, and sometimes it's not. And that can go whether it's your food parenting, something I specialize, kind of our approach to feeding our family and ourselves, or the food that you actually serve them, so the what and the how. And we pass that down through generations. And like I said, sometimes it's really beneficial, and sometimes we know now that it might not be.
Yeah, well, you know what's coming to my mind, and then I'll put my parents on blast a little bit. So my mom does not love to cook, especially vegetables. Her mom did not cook vegetables and did not make vegetables tasty, so she never taught us to make vegetables tasty, which means now I struggle to eat my vegetables. And I feel like that's kind of the perfect example of how my nutrition has kind of been passed down from generation to generation.
Absolutely. That is a wonderful example of that, Katie. Truly.
Yeah. And so one of the things that you're really big on is this idea of compassionate nutrition, which kind of is like, wait, what? That's kind of was my first thought. So I really would love for you to explain that.
Yes. So compassionate nutrition is kind of my coined approach. I have actually a whole food parenting course on that as well, that if you want to just jump in there without guidance is okay. But what compassionate nutrition is feeding our kids and our family and ourselves with kindness and meeting each other, or meeting ourselves and meeting them where we are right now. So often I have parents coming to me with, you know, typically with like a picky eater, quote unquote. Maybe they will only eat 5 foods and that sort of thing. And it could be that maybe they're picky, but most often they're not picky. They're not trying to be picky. They're misunderstanding things. They can't really understand how to eat this thing. Maybe it's new and they have some anxiety or some other reasons why they're not eating. And that can go for us too. Like maybe, like, I just don't like vegetables. And you could be like, well, because I'm picky. But maybe it's because of your food parenting and the generational, you know, way you were parented. So compassionate nutrition really wraps everything up with your food parenting, family nutrition, and really kind of guides people through pillars of really good nutrition in a kind way, yet you can still make progress.
I love that. And what's really great about this practice of yours is that it is virtual. It is something that you can get anywhere, no matter where you live. So where can people go ahead and find more information about you and the courses that you offer?
Yes, so I do offer my course and then private guidance, and you can go to aspiringsprouts.com is the easiest way, and you can follow me on any of the socials I'm on from there. Email me, text me, call me.
Perfect. And I will make sure that that website, as well as her social media links, are on our website, colatv.com, so that after the show you can go ahead and check out Aspiring Sprouts, meet Sara for yourself, and really get that one-on-one attention that your family deserves when it comes to their nutrition and, of course, their generational health. So thank you, Sara, so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back.